Cambridge Past, Present and Future is a local charity that cares about the heritage of Cambridge and its green landscapes. We've been working hard to care for and improve the historic buildings and green spaces in our care, to influence the planning and development of Cambridge, and to inspire and enable people to explore their local environment, heritage and culture. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck at the start of the financial year, it became clear that access to green space and nature was crucial to the health and well-being of the communities that we serve. We're proud of the amazing efforts of our team in keeping our green spaces open and available throughout the crisis. The heartfelt thanks and support that we've received from the local community has confirmed that that was the right thing to do, despite the challenging circumstances. Across all our sites, we've cut and maintained 8 kilometres of footpath and installed 2 new benches at Wandlebury. We continue to provide a warden service to support visitors, as well as maintaining public facilities such as toilets, picnic tables, benches and car parks. The population of our area will grow by 30% in a 20-year period, at the same time as nature is in significant decline. In order to respond, we know that we will need to increase the amount of green space available for nature and people. During the year, 2 pieces of land came on the market for sale next to Wandlebury. This is rare, and the charity acted to seize the opportunity this presented. These land purchases will enable the charity to increase the size of the park by 4.5 acres. We've launched a Land for Nature fundraising appeal in order to cover some of the costs of the purchase, to improve nature and to make it available for public access. Our estate team and volunteers carried out a range of nature conservation tasks at Wandlebury, Coton Reserve and Barnwell Meadows. This included laying hedges, restoring woodland, cutting back scrub and seeding wildflower meadows. We have a team of Highland cattle at Wandlebury, whose grazing ensures the ecological quality of our chalk grasslands. Thanks to a donation, we were able to install 2 new cattle troughs, which makes long-term grazing more sustainable and reduces staff time spent watering them. However, maintaining our ageing herd continues to absorb resources, and during the year we were sad to lose Sammy from our fold, who now number only 4, and we started work to look at how best to replace them. Our area is growing and changing very rapidly, a situation that looks set to continue over the long term as the government gives further support for a new Oxford to Cambridge growth arc that could provide up to 1 million houses and 1 million jobs by 2050. It's vital that the views of local people and organisations like Cambridge PPF are heard to ensure that growth is managed in a way that takes into account heritage, landscape and environmental issues. This has been a central theme of our work over the past year and has meant significant engagement with organisations such as Cambridge City Council, South Cambridgeshire Council and the Greater Cambridge Partnership. We act as a watchdog, monitoring development proposals and responding when we're concerned that they would have an impact on heritage, landscape, environment or quality of life. During the year, we responded formally to 60 applications, consultations or proposals, including developments in the Greenbelt, new busways, a new railway station and student flats in a city centre park. 2 proposals in particular have taken up a large amount of our time because of the damage they could do. These are the plans for new off-road busways slicing through the countryside of Madingley Hill to the west of Cambridge and the Gog Magog Hills to the south of the city. Cambridge PPF is proactive as well as reactive. One example of this is the work that we're doing in partnership with other like-minded organisations to map and create a vision for a Cambridge nature network that can reconnect habitats for people and nature. One of the aims is to inform the new local development plan for our area, and we've submitted our work as evidence. The nature network vision is to have significant areas of downland, fens, meadows and woodlands around Cambridge that are drawn together in a system of interconnected nature sites and corridors. A maintenance inspection at Bourne Windmill in late 2019 revealed rot in the crossbeams that support the windmill, which is one of the most important in the UK. During the year, Historic England provided advice and an emergency grant to enable us to employ a professional team of conservation experts to understand the extent of the problem and design a schedule of repairs. Their findings were alarming, and the mill has been closed, scaffolded and propped to prevent collapse, and the mill has been placed on the at-risk register. The charity launched a fundraising appeal and around £10,000 was pledged towards the costs of the first phase of work. Work is ongoing to agree the best form of repairs, but they're likely to cost in the region of £50,000. At the Cambridge Leper Chapel and Barnwell Meadows, we've continued to work with the Greater Cambridge Partnership regarding the construction of the Chisholm Trail through the meadows. During the year, we continued conservation management of the meadows to encourage wildflowers. We're very grateful to a volunteer for opening the chapel on a handful of occasions when the pandemic regulations allowed, and also for giving the chapel a much needed spring clean. Due to the pandemic, we were not able to open Hinxton Watermill for open days or even to operate it, and we've effectively mothballed it for a year. However, the walk along the river was popular and many more people have seen the mill. Our estate team have tackled the overgrown picnic area, making it safer and more attractive to use. Cambridge PPF runs the Cambridge Blue Plaque scheme, installing plaques on buildings to recognise significant people or events in Cambridge's history. Our programme was disrupted by the pandemic because the plaques are usually accompanied by a social event. After several postponements, we eventually erected a plaque for the Reverend W. Audrey, the author of Thomas the Tank Engine. Although an event was not possible in the village of Ellsworthy, we were pleased that the local school children produced drawings and poems, and there was extensive media coverage. Due to the pandemic, we were not able to run our healthy walking programme or our green woodworking partnership with the brain injury charity Headway, or the sponsored walk partnership with Parkinson UK. Our school programme is delivered from an education centre at Wandlebury and mainly serves primary schools in the Cambridge area. We focus on delivering outdoor learning for science and nature, Iron Age and history, and orienteering. Unfortunately, in 2020, due to the pandemic, we were unable to welcome any of the 2,000 school children who normally visit. Our public events programme usually covers a wide range of educational and cultural activities, but in 2020 we were only able to deliver a handful of these instead of the normal 150. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed many things and led to a wider recognition of the things that our charity has been campaigning for many years: green spaces, nature, culture, community and sustainable development. These have now risen up the agenda for individuals, organisations and politicians, and Cambridge past, present and future must seize the moment to further our charitable work. One of the ways that we aim to do this is by purchasing farmland to prevent it from development and converting it into green space to capture carbon, help to restore nature and to improve the health and well-being of local communities. The charity could not have achieved all it has done without the support of our members, funding from donors and patrons, the hard work of our small staff team and the inspiring efforts of the many volunteers who help us. I'd like to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to all those people who supported and helped the charity over the last 12 months through what have been very difficult times, and I really hope that you will continue to do so.